Hello, my name is Herman. I am a registered nurse at Contra Costa Regional Medical Center, and I am a nursing student at California State University, East Bay. And this is my presentation about the implementation of beginning of shift huddle for an interdisciplinary team in a medical surgical unit. Yeah. Okay, the next three slides are about the background of my unit. The project location is a Contra Costa Regional Medical Center located in Martinez, California. It is a medical surgical unit. It has 13 share rooms with a daily census of 31 patients. The unit counts with one medication room, an electronic medication dispenser, Omnicell, an average nursing to page ratio to 4 to 5 patients per nurse in an 8-hour shift. One charge nurse, one clerk, one environmental service member, and one certified nurse assistant. The number of certified nurse assistants is 2 per shift. The hospital counts with the electronic medical record system, and every room counts with a wall-mounted computer and 8 additional computer workstations. One charge nurse, one clerk, and that's it. This unit is more medical than surgical. The patient demographics that we get are from any ethnic background and any walk of life. Most of them are post-op patients, new admissions from PACU emergency department. They come from transfer from IMCU, ICU, and most of the patients that we have on our floor are long-term patients that are difficult to place at a different location, SNF, border care, or even at home. Some of them are homeless and they don't have any other place to go. Some of them have psych issues and behavioral disturbances. Some of them need 24/7 2-to-1 surveillance or 1-to-1 with a sitter. Yeah. The beginning of shift huddle will be done on Medical Surgical Unit 5D on the PM shift. The PM shift has 9 RNs on the floor during the shift, and the shift starts 3 p.m. till 11:30 p.m. And the average seniority rate for the nurses that work there, some of them have worked there for 18 years and some of them have worked there for 1 month. And we have one house officer after 5 p.m. We have a lot of doctors at the hospital, but after 5 p.m. we only have one doctor that stays overnight from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. and any changes in conditions to patients go directly to that doctor. We have rapid response and behavioral response 24 hours a day. We have CNAs on the floor, but most of them are used as sitters. Because of the population that we have, sitters stay with patients on a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 patient surveillance. My objective, the reason why I wanted to start beginning of shift huddle is because when I got hired at this location, I was just put on the floor and nobody introduced me to anyone, and it was kind of awkward. And I figured during my clinical rotations, I noticed how beginning of shift huddles help with other nurses at different hospitals, and I figured this would be a good thing to implement at this new unit that I started working at. And my objective is the implementation of a team huddle to provide safety for patients and staff through education and team empowerment. And yep. The main thing that I want to get out of this is I want to improve the communication between the staff and improve the staff accountability and create a sense of empowerment, a sense of unity, and provide safe care and safety for patients and staff. For it is because of the population of patients that we have, and because of the fast turnaround of nurses that we have as well. Part of the anticipated problems that I was expecting through this project was that I didn't want management to use this mode of communication to scold nurses or to use it to in a negative way. I wanted all to be something positive, something that nurses and staff can use to communicate. And these are just a list of things that I didn't want to happen. The biggest resource that I would need for my project is time, and time from me as a person doing the research and the presentation, and also time from the team, and to provide in service and to provide with with initial evaluations and to provide with end of project evaluations. And also we have a whiteboard that we never use. It's just sitting there, and I've seen a different hospital that they use the whiteboard for different reasons, and I wanted to use the whiteboard for nursing communication. Okay, this slide will show budget, pretty much how much it will cost to get this project going and to get it established. I'm trying to do 5-minute huddle. I want to start with 4 days a week, and then on the second week I want to start with 5 days, and then 6 days, and then finally on my fourth week I want to do 7 days a week. And I added the time that for the nurses that would be part of the huddle, and the whiteboard overlay. We have the whiteboard, we just need to design an overlay, print it, and have it installed. It is about $830 at a sign shop, and pretty much handouts, printouts, and it's bulk printed, and it's about $75. The total project cost will be about 9,185, and yeah. The theory that supports my project, pretty much most of it, the three that I got talk about the benefit of having teamwork, and and being able to equalize the experience of the senior nurses with the new information from new nurses, new grads. And since I have nurses who have been at county for 18 years and new nurses who had just graduated from nursing school, I figure that this project will allow the unit to communicate better between the two kind of nurses. Okay, my plan to implement a beginning of shift huddle for the interdisciplinary team in the medical surgical unit. It is a 3-step process. The first one is to get a baseline to see where are we as a team and how the unit feels with the need of beginning of shift huddle. The second step is the longest one, is the implementation of the huddle. That is a 4-week process in which we will have the huddle 4 times the first week, and then 5 days the second, and then 6 the third, and then 7 on the fourth week. And the last step will be to evaluate to see how the team reacted to the huddle, and if it was beneficial or if it was not beneficial to the team. The first part of the project is to get a baseline of to see who is part of the team and how do they feel about the team, and if there is a need, if they feel like there is a need for a beginning of shift huddle. I'm sure there is a need, but I need to have them acknowledge that there is a need in order for us to move forward with it. Okay. This is a visual sample of the initial survey, I want to find out um, the position that they hold in the unit, and pretty much five different questions in which I ask, do they think that they feel integrated in the interdisciplinary staff? And I gave four different options. Do they strongly agree? Do they agree? Do they disagree? Or do they strongly disagree? I didn't give the option for neutral because I figure a lot of people will start putting neutral, and that will not help me in any way. Either they like it or they don't. And also left up some lines so they can add some additional comments or suggestions for my project. And yeah, during the implementation of the huddle, I have a total of 21 members of the team, which was great. I was not expecting that many people. I thought it was gonna be well, less than that, but it was great to see that people were looking forward to make a change in the unit towards something positive. And I did my survey, and the charge did the morning huddle, the beginning of shift huddle, and she it was great. There was a great response from the staff. Okay, this is a the front view of the pamphlet that I offer to the people who were part of the in-service, the beginning of the huddle, and of the first one, and I took the pictures myself. This is the whiteboard that it's just there. We just use the different things, but we don't use it for, I guess, for nursing communication as we could. And this picture of the hospital, and yeah, that's it. Okay, this is a picture of the back of the pamphlet that I offer. It has the survey that I was gonna offer, the doors to the unit, and a quote that I really like. Pretty much, the beginning of Shihadal not only provides safety to patients, but it also increases solidarity between the nurses from different education levels, years of experience, by empowering all nurses, and decreasing the power gradient. So pretty much what this is saying is senior nurses and new nurses come together for the same goal. All right. This is just a picture of the pamphlets before I hand them out. Once again, this is a picture of the whiteboard. As you can see, it's blank and it just has a bunch of magnets, and we as a unit are not using it the way we're supposed to. The way I would want it to, not the way we're supposed to, but the way I would want the unit to use it as a nursing communication. The next slide will show what I have in mind for the whiteboard. This is the information that I had in mind for the whiteboard and how I wanted to use the whiteboard. Pretty much have this printed on a vinyl overlay with graffiti lamination so we can dry and erase the information. And yeah, I was talking to maintenance, and they were super nice to provide me with a map of the unit. The blue part, it is the nurse station, and the red part shows, the red rectangle shows where the whiteboard is located at, and the different rooms and the different exits. And let's say the green rectangles are the exits, but that will show that the whiteboard will be at the center of the L-shaped unit, right in front of the nurse station, which will be easier for everyone to see. Well, I was not able to use the whiteboard because I wanted the unit clerk to use to update the whiteboard as frequent as possible, but turns out that we don't have a unit clerk anymore, so we were not able to use the whiteboard. as I wanted. The Another nurse mentioned that it would be a great idea to use a binder instead and just update the page daily, and we can all go to the binder and look at the information that would be on the whiteboard, and that's what we started using for instead of the whiteboard. It was kind of sad because I really wanted to use the whiteboard, but I guess the binder will do it. At the beginning of the project, 21 people participated in my survey, and this is how they answered to the questions. And people were, they felt a little bit isolated. They felt a little bit not as part of a team, and they felt, if you look at, they felt like their voices were not being heard, and several of them agreed that their voices were being heard by the unit, and 15 actually agreed that 15 out of the 21 agreed that the beginning of shift huddle will help the unit, which calls for a beginning of shift huddle, I guess. Okay. By the second week, a lot less people were part of the interdisciplinary huddle, and I ended up having just a huddle with the nurses, with the registered nurses and the CNAs and RT and OT, social worker, and doctors. They were not interested in the huddle as much as I thought they would have, and pretty much just one doctor was part of the huddle with us, was the house officer, the one doctor for the for the overnight, and but at the end of my survey, people were were happy with the result of what the huddle had accomplished. It was not completely what I had in mind. I wanted it to be interdisciplinary, but it ended up being just registered nurse oriented with one doctor, and but although it was not what I was expecting, I'm still happy with it. Okay. I just added some special thanks to Mary Reyes, which is the nurse educator at my unit, and Mindy Elliott, which is the nurse manager. Both of them were super helpful with this project by providing me with a lot of support, a lot of help, and yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking your time to go through my PowerPoint and my awkward presentation. But that's it. Thank you.